Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Airship Aviation Limited, and let's just jumpstart to this quick, short webinar. First of all, welcome to all of you to 2026 almost, and the hiring season is back again. Just a quick introduction about myself, guys. Due to the restrictions on by the organization that I work for, I will be unable to share my name or my face with you, but I'm one of the uh, members who has been associated with Airship right from day one. I'm basically a senior captain with more than 13,000 hours of flying experience, having flown both the Boeings and the Airbuses at certain stage. I'm currently in the role of a TRI. So I'm someone who has been here, who's seen the Indian aviation grow from the last 19 years. Okay, so this is going back almost from 2005 end onwards. So I've seen there was a time when you would get jobs just as a matter of a walk-in interview when we had airlines such as Air Deccan, Kingfisher, Jetlight, and a few others, to the tough times which began in 2008, beginning onwards when the recession had struck, to the whole dynamics which have changed. There was a time when you just needed to be a CPL holder with single engine, not even multi-engine was required. Okay, and today we are sitting here when even the type-rated guys have to fight it out. All right, guys. So that's a quick introduction about me, just trying to tell you that you're speaking to someone who knows exactly what's what's happening in the industry. Okay. So we got this webinar on the thankfully the recently announced vacancies of Air India. The last date for which is the 10th of January, another 13 days from today. Uh, it's for 30 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly do this quick pep talk things which I feel are important for the first 15 to 18 minutes, and thereafter I'll throw the floor open to all of you. I understand quite a few of you will be having a lot of questions. So please feel free to shoot those questions and then we'll give it a wrap. Okay, so I'm just going to be sharing my screen and I would request any one of you to just please confirm if that's visible to you or not. Okay, guys, so can you see it? Is this visible?
Yes, so we can see your screen.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so all the colleagues who have joined a few minutes later are still joining. Guys, we just gotten started. Uh, so the hiring season is here again. I'm sure if you guys are keeping yourself reasonably updated with what's been happening in the aviation industry, uh, you will appreciate and you will understand that there's this phrase which is called a carrot and stick. So finally, there's a sort of stick which has been used by the regulator and the public sentiment at large on the operators, on the airlines in India, due to which they are now forced to begin the hiring season again, starting with Air India and also with IndiGo. IndiGo, although has not come up with a new vacancy as such, however, they've restarted the stalled vacancies which they had announced back in 2023, September, October. So if any one of you who's got a brother, sister, or someone in the family will know what I'm talking about. Okay. So let's get started, guys. Just a quick run through on few of these slides over here. So basically, we'll talk about the Air India vacancies. If someone who's not aware, do we have a mix of both CPL holders and 320 type rated? Is there anyone who's 320 type rated over here?
So this is Astha. I am 320 type rated.
Okay, Asa. All right. So basically, I just want I don't intend to know each one of yours qualification, but I just wanted to know there's a mix. So CPL holders as well. Can someone just confirm? Is everyone 320 type rated? There's no CPL holder here?
I'm doing my conversion flying, Vinayak.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. So let's get started. So basically, these vacancies which have come out right now, I'm sure you would have seen pretty much everybody would have seen the advertisements. It's for A320 type rated candidates only. Okay. So first, let's get through the slides and then I'll try and share my viewpoint on what to expect. Okay, so decoding the 26 Air India 320 selection, guys. This is a quick run through of what will be, you know, what I'm going to be taking you through. The selection process, what are the major changes? which have been incorporated in the new vacancy. The GD level, the group discussion, uh, the cool off trap. If you're not able to make the cut, then you are given a cooling time of around 6 months. And these cooling times, they keep varying. The complimentary bonus, I mean, this is what Airship has to offer. Similarly, here, the cheat sheet, the mock test, the study materials, and how our whole apparatus comes about in terms of how you can utilize. So guys, the Air India 2026 vacancies are not the same as they were back in 2023. Okay, so the important change which has been incorporated is the stage of general discussion. In fact, even in 2023, the vacancies which were last published sometime around in June or July, they had never mentioned GD. However, there were a few candidates who, after giving and clearing the written stage, then they received an email for a psychometric evaluation and a GD. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, though it was not very clear in 2023, now it's absolutely clear. So Air India is also going the same way as IndiGo selection process. Okay. Uh, why they are having these vacancies? Well, Air India has had been recruiting. It is only 2025 when for a very long time we did not see any vacancies either by Air India or IndiGo. The last one was, they were uh, released by Express, but unfortunately, that whole process was culled. So those vacancies are practically dead as we speak, as of today. Okay, so now why? Because Air India has got more than 500 aircrafts on order. Uh, they're not just looking for license holders, they're looking for airline ready pilots. And this is exactly why you have the stage of GD. The intent of a general discussion stage here is to check your CRM skills. Okay, they do not want people who are not trainable. They don't want people with a psyche who have a sort of rebellious nature. So most of these things are considered as screening levels. So GD is also one of the new screening levels which they have introduced to see that how compatible, how CRM friendly a personality, a pilot you are. All right. Okay, so most students fail. I mean, this is we are trying to say here that you will have to change your way of learning for this particular vacancy. In 2023, the main focus was on written, technical, psychometric, and thereafter the interview. So the psychometric test was carried out by a third party for which you had to pay 2,000 rupees. It's going to be the same this time as well. Okay, and then you will be given access to a particular portal. You go there and you undergo your psychometric test. And then it was a PI, the interview, and then the sim check. In 26, as you can see, they have added the GD also. So why the GD now? Air India also prioritizes CRM. So mainly the group discussion, as the name suggests, it's a discussion of a group. So what they're trying to see over there is your CRM skills. Are you someone who believes in hogging the limelight? Are you someone who only believes that I should be the one talking? I should be the one dominating. I should be the one who's always initiating and stepping over when someone else is talking? Then it's a major no-no. Okay, so they want to see that how compatible you are in a group. Are you someone who believes in taking everyone on board? Are you someone who is okay and who is adaptable enough to change your opinion? They could be group discussion is basically you are given a topic to discuss. Someone may take opt for the motion, against the motion, and then you sort of decide. And eventually you all need to be on the same conclusion. So this whole exercise just the panelists who are sitting over there, they tend to see that, okay, this group was very cohesive. It was very interactive. They were very cohesive. They were out of the six people, there were four who were for the motion. There were two who were against the motion. The for the motion, four people managed to convince the other two. And now eventually the conclusion is that all six of them are on the same page. Okay, this is a ballpark understanding of what a GD is. Okay, so what is the value that you take home from our course? Our 320 preparatory courses, they don't just teach you the systems. We have our own dedicated modules for general discussion and CRM. We have different tailor-made courses, mock tests, and cheat sheets which are available for GD and CRM. Then the second change, which you can anticipate this time around, is in 2023 the questions were offered in DGCA level technicals. Uh, when we say DGCA level technicals, what I'm trying to say is when you are let's say if you go for a type rating for A320 or 737 or any other jet aircraft in India, just like how you have technical general and technical performance for someone who's done their flying from India, it's the same thing. So if you do a type rating in India, then you are required to undergo a DGCA technical exam for aircraft specific. So, a lot of these examinations, which are aircraft specific, the questions uh, were heavily, you know, systematic in nature. So you will see a lot being asked about a particular system, and not so much about the concept. So if someone who's 320 type rated, you will understand what I'm trying to say, that when you talk about systems, you're talking about a pickup statement from any of those ATA chapters. Okay, so they may pick up just random question from ATA 21, which is air conditioning, ventilation, pressurization, or APU or your power plant, and give and frame that as a question to you. However, what we anticipate this time around is it's going to be a few questions from directly from the systems. However, there would be some conceptual questions also as to why exactly, what is the understanding of an unreliable speed? How do you figure out which is the unreliable ADR? For all those who must have read the FCTM, will understand what I'm trying to say. Why is your THS not available in a green plus yellow hydraulic failure? However, it is available in a green plus blue hydraulic failure. Okay, so even though the THS is not available in a green plus yellow, but you still get that message, use man pitch trim only on your PFT. So why do you get those messages? So these questions are called conceptual questions. So this is what we can anticipate this time around in 2026. Okay, then the third point over here, expect questions on Airbus SOPs, cold weather ops, and performance. Now, please don't get bogged down by these terminologies. Okay, they appear to be very heavy. Airbus SOPs are plain SOPs. Yeah, you're supposed to have SOPs. You're supposed to fly with SOPs on basically pretty much any aircraft, be it a Cessna or your multi-engine. So there's nothing difficult over here. Airbus SOPs uh, are for the 320 type rated guys. There is no excuse. You're supposed to know it by heart. Okay, you should be knowing it by the flick of your fingers. Cold weather ops. We're in the middle of fog season. It was crazy fog today in the morning in Delhi for someone who live in Delhi NCR region, and smelling the fantastic, beautiful air. It was crazy today in the morning, so it is only very natural to expect quite a few questions on cold weather ops in this particular Air India's written exam. Some from a CPL perspective, from a CPL level perspective, you can anticipate or you can expect questions like, what are the conditions for a fog to build? What is a radiation fog? What is a LVTO? What do you mean by LVP enforced? What is a Cat 2, Cat 3, Cat 3A, Cat 3B? What is a minimum fuel, Mayday fuel, and concepts like these. And then performance. Now, in performance, you shouldn't expect A320's specific performance, because for that you would need to have a thorough understanding of the FCOM performance, or you need to have a Airbus EFB tool to calculate. But when we prepare these slides, and when you see this word performance on your screen, what I mean to drive home the message is you should expect to have a basic understanding of the general performance. Uh, how would a upsloping runway affect your V1? How would a downsloping runway affect your VR? What is a VR? What is VS1G? Okay. How is your uh, you know, similarly, if you increase your VR, what happens to your Tora? If you reduce your VR, what happens to your ASTA? What is an ASTA? Uh, if you were to depart out of Delhi, let's say in the month of May, when the temperatures are 40 degrees, similarly, and I mean, this question would be a comparison question. And on the other side, if you were to depart again in the month of May, but this time around from Leh, so where would you be getting more performance out of your engines? So what they're trying to know is, are you aware that Delhi is almost at mean sea level? It's at 777 elevation, and the airport of Leh is at an elevation of 10,500. So the month may be same, but if you're having an aircraft departing out of Leh, you're at a higher altitude where the air density is lower. So the thrust produced by your engines is going to be higher in Delhi as compared to in Leh. So this is what they want to, it's a basic understanding. So these are the questions that you're going to expect when we say performance. So if you're not prepared, around 60% of the candidates fail at the written stage itself. Okay, because they study too many general things and not specifics. Again, here we've got our question banks are always updated, and our question banks are updated from first-hand experiences from our students who were previously enrolled with us as a matter of loyalty, as a matter of respect. The moment they give their exam, they reach out to our team within 24 hours, 48 hours. They still have a lot of questions fresh in their memory, and this is how we keep updating our question bank. This is how we get to know that these were the questions which were asked, and we eliminate the older questions and we refresh them with the newer ones. Okay, then going to the next page. Again, it's a psychometric evaluation. It's not a simple personality quiz that are you someone who gets angry very fast? No. I mean, it's, situation-based questions. Some of those questions may seem very generic in nature, and generally, psychometric evaluation in itself is not a pass or fail. It is basically just to gauge your personality and to reflect upon the evaluation team, that are you someone who is trainable? Are you someone who is throwing across a personality which appears to be very rigid? Or are you someone who is whose personality appears to be trainable, agile, is flexible? So that is what your questions and the answers to those questions are gonna reflect. Okay, so we have a dedicated course, thorough course uh, for psychometric. We have, if I may say so, not exactly would be right, but we have quite a few questions which may not be same, but are largely quite similar to what very frequently Indigo had been giving in their exams, and which was also given back in 2023 in the last vacancy that Air India had come out with. Okay, so we have a very robust question bank available with us, which is going to be a great help to you. Okay, then the group discussion thing, I think we've already spoken about it. Air India has introduced a GD to check your English proficiency, yes, in a certain way. In action and leadership qualities, common mistake which a lot of people end up making, especially the ones who do not undergo training. While it's absolutely fine to not undergo training as well, however, it's not recommended. It is now that you have a abundance of training schools available, both online and offline. It is only advisable that just since you know, you're investing so much of money, just only a bit more is absolutely fair, so that you can ensure that your performance and your preparation is complete. So common mistake, like I said, if you're someone who loves to dominating the talk, or on the contrary, you are an absolutely introvert person, that is also not going to be very beneficial for you. They expect you to talk. Okay. An optimal CRM trait is that you are someone who talks, while at the same time you know exactly when to talk, how much to talk, and what is the content in your talk. Okay, so that is what they want to see over there. So staying silent is also going to fail you, and dominating the talk is also going to fail you. Topics are often aviation related. Do you believe the era of automation has really made pilots complacent or not? Very generic topics. If someone who has prepared previously for Indigo's GD or has given any attempt with Indigo will know that the group discussion topics in Indigo are definitely a lot more specific, a lot more interactive, and a lot more complex to discuss. Because in Indigo, they tend to give you sometimes crash scenarios. They tend to give you sometimes normal discussion topics like automation versus manual flying, low cost carriers versus full service carriers. And they can also give you a uh, survival activity. I'm talking about Indigo. As compared to Indigo, the Air India's GD level so far has been quite basic. Back in 2023, like Air India had asked GD questions. I mean, there are no questions, but the topics which were given for the group for GD were something like automation versus manual flying in aviation. Now it's too general. So basically, in this, in topics like these, you guys are supposed to pick a side, whether you are for automation or against automation, and then what your points are. And so how should you be drafting those points? For how long should you be discussing? Then how many minutes should you give for concluding? What should be your body language? Who should initiate? All these things are taught very specifically and in a very detailed way in our GD classes. Okay, so the value that you take home is we conduct live mock GD sessions. Yes, so the benefit with Airship is every GD session will be conducted live by our instructors, and that session itself is getting recorded in real time also. So a couple of hours later, when the class ends, these recorded sessions are also made available to you uh, till the time you have cleared your exams. Okay, so you have the access. So it gives you a great amount of liberty for a lot of you people who would be freelancing or working somewhere or be in a job 9 to 5 and does not have the time to attend the classes in the morning. You can always go back and attend these classes at the convenience of you. You don't have to spend those extra $1,000 for renting a PG here in Ramphal Chowk or anywhere else. Okay, the cool off trap. Air India has a 180-day cooling period. I think this is something which you're all aware. So if you fail today, you miss this massive 2026 hiring wave. Well, if you fail today, it's fine. Failure is a part to success. So here, I'm not trying to dissuade or I'm not trying to discourage anyone, but what I'm trying to say is the golden opportunity has begun. And you will have more Indigo and Air India vacancies. I can bet my reputation on this statement. 100% you will have more vacancies coming up. Let there be no doubt. But why would you not want to give your best shot in the first attempt? Why would you want to wait for 6 months? Because you were not prepared in the first attempt, and then you have faced a jolt. Then you're preparing. While doing that, you wasted 6 months. 6 months is a lot of time. Okay, there would be so many guys hanging around at the age of 29 and a half years, 30 years, 30 and a half years. The moment you touch 31, that moment is gone. That opportunity is gone. So don't let these things happen. Please prepare in the first go itself. Okay. 6 months will also mean some of you, quite a lot of you, whoever is 320 type rated, and otherwise also CPL holders, you will have to do your recencies. You will have to again shell out those lakhs of rupees, either go to Mehsana or here and there or FSTC or CAE and get your license renewals current because the next you're waiting for the next vacancy. So there's a lot at stake. Okay, so the vacancies are here. Please give your best shot. Okay, preparation is an investment, failure is an expensive mistake. So the problem here, the dual track learning system, what the message that we're trying to take home here is that the Air India application window is very short. You cannot wait for weeks to cover a specific system like autoflight. Now, someone who knows A320, you know that autoflight is a huge chapter. Okay. And autoflight is one of the most easiest things to learn. The only problem is someone who has never been in the cockpit, while you're only reading the autoflight chapter from the FCOM, you tend to believe that, oh my God, this is just too much. This is just everything is going over my head. These mode reversions, these open descent, idle open descent, managed descent, vertical speed, what is expedite, what is my basic modes, heading VS, etc., etc. What is all this? But it's an absolutely easy chapter. But as per this slide, what we are trying to tell you is we at Airship do not believe in wasting time on those big topics from where we know there is going to be hardly any question which is going to be asked, or or maybe one or two questions. But if we were to prepare you for that chapter, it's going to take a lot of time. Okay, so our courses are very tailor-made. We don't have this luxury of preparing for months together altogether a complete 320 type rating. So what you get is we will be covering these topics in short in the classes. The recordings will be available. Apart from that, our in-depth uh, coverage of these topics which were done previously for other batches, okay, where the classes run into 2 hours, 2.5 hours. You have the study materials available. All this access will be given to you as well. So you can utilize these things. Let's say if you had attended the class in the morning, in the evening, if you wish to, you can always log into the website and you will have everything available over there. Okay. So the solution is you get immediate access to our complete A320 Air India course. We have 38 pre-recorded classes, mastery classes. So like I said, now one more thing. Every instructor who is associated with airship, okay, we've got, there was a time when I was myself teaching A320s. I'm not doing it right now because I've been caught up with few other things associated with airship. But a lot of those previously recorded classes would be the ones which were taught by me. And apart from me, we have a very robust team. Every instructor who's associated with airship is someone who's flying actively on a jet aircraft, either a 320 or a 73, and also a wide body. Okay, so the people who bring in thousands hours of experience, they've got all our instructors who are 320 and 737 type rated, they're all those guys who got more than 4 to 5,000 hours of experience. So they know exactly what they're talking, they know exactly what people ask in the interview. So you are not being taught by those instructors which are, with all due respect, to which are just CPL holders and trying to teach you the jet topics. You are being taught a jet aircraft by someone who flies a jet aircraft in real time as of today. Okay, so we are not trying to cover up, and that is something that you guys can figure out very easily. I mean, I have used so many words right now, the systems, the phraseologies. I'm sure the 320 guys know exactly that I'm someone who has a rich experience on 320. That's why I know these things. So the moment you speak, the moment you interact with the instructor, it'll be absolutely amply clear. Okay, the live classes, we don't just do doubt sessions. There are doubt sessions as well. Our live sessions cover the new 26 selection syllabus in detail, ensuring you're updated with the current airline trends. Okay. Uh, our recorded sessions also have this facility of you can increase the speed. So let's say if you're finding a particular topic which is you're already too comfortable with it, you can always increase the speed of the video so that it passes by a bit faster. Okay, then here, as you can see, the complimentary bonus, the A320 pre-recorded success vault. This is something which was mentioned in the last slide. At the end of the webinar, I'll just take quick 5 minutes and I'll quickly run you through our website, how it looks, and whatever you're seeing on the slides right now, how does it feel when you're navigating on our website? Okay, so we provide this as a complimentary. So if you guys register with us for the A320 hiring, which is going to take place for Air India, you will have the complimentary access to the previously recorded A320 specific chapters, including the content. Okay, so this is all complimentary, which is being given to you. What it all contains is the fundamentals, something very basic as introduction, manuals, and aircraft general. There was a time back in 2022 when Air India had back-to-back vacancies, around 5 to 6 batches starting May 2022, and it continued until Feb 2023, in which Air India had surprised everyone in the market because they had made their written exams so tough. And they were not tough because people didn't study. They were tough because they started asking questions from the most unexpected corners. And one of those unexpected corners were your manual, the FCOM manual, how to read your FCOM manual. They had framed questions from the introduction part. Okay, imagine. So, if you can see the screen, if I was to prepare a question bank for you, if I simply ask you, okay, what is the meaning of this particular logo that you see over here? Okay, where you see the cursor moving. So this is the kind of question that Air India was asking back in 2023, and the kids had not prepared for it. I mean, if I was in your shoes, even I would not study that. What does the footer, the footer numbering alpha with a arrow to the left and with a arrow to the right mean? I mean, why would I read the header or a footer? I would just read the content. So everyone went prepared, knowing the content, and Air India had at least 6 to 7 questions from introduction and how to read the manual. What is a layer one? What is a layer two? What is a layer three? Okay, why do you have black boxes on the sides on some of the ECAM cautions? Okay, why is I mean, this is how it's depicted in the QRH. There are black boxes on the side. Why is some of the cautions gray shaded with gray? What does the shading mean? If it's not shaded, what does it mean? It means the ones which are shaded, they don't get reflected on ECAM. Now, what's the full form of ECAM? Someone will say electric, someone will say electronic. So, very petty questions. Electronic centralized aircraft monitoring, electric centralized aircraft monitoring. So, these were the options which are given in those questions. So, that is when Airship also had changed their question banks and their teaching techniques. So, this is what this introduction and manuals refers to. Then when got ATA chapters, more than 5+ classes on air conditioning, pressurization, ventilation, pneumatics, APU, fire protection, all these things which you see on your screen. All this is going to be complimentary. Okay. Apart from the complimentary study material, we will have a cheat sheet and mock test bundle. The mock test bundle is, like I said, is regularly updated, and it is almost as good as a few weeks back. Our mock tests are always updated. The cheat sheet is always updated. Uh, what is a mock test or a cheat sheet is basically you have question papers. Okay, and most of these question papers are regularly updated with what was asked in the last Air India examination, the mock tests which are pertaining to Air India, and similarly, we also have mock tests which pertain to IndiGo. So, like, we are absolutely ready for vacancies for IndiGo as well if tomorrow they were to come. So we have these mock tests which are updated thanks to our students who give these exams, step out, reach home, take a break, rest, and then they let us know. So if we've got 10 to 15 guys who give us the feedback, we thankfully are able to collate quite a few questions, and that's how we keep refreshing our mock test. Okay. So you will also have access to this mock test and cheat sheets. Again, like I said, A320 April 24 paper, original Indigo's previous year memory base. I mean, when our students tell us A320 mock tests from 1 to 13, and dedicated CPL mocks also. So for this particular Air India batch, it's not just that we will only be teaching you A320. There will also be CPL training, but not a holistic, complete CPL from a DGC exam point of view. That is not what you need also. Okay, there are only very select items which are repetitively asked both in Indigo and Air India's written exam. We will only be covering those topics because the time is also important. Okay, so it's not just A320 only. CPL topics will also be covered. Okay. So if you're going to be having 2 or 3 classes in a week for A320s, you will have definitely have one class for CPL, 1 or 2 classes for CPL also. Okay, then study material. We provide structured notes for all 28 critical topics. So FCOM, FCTM, and all these things. You will have daily support and real-time guidance. So our numbers are flashed. You will also be having the numbers for the instructors, including myself. Okay. So I will also be actively involved in this batch. So our numbers will also be provided to you in the event that you do choose to enroll with us. Okay. Course overview is again, we have a full airline preparatory course, full guidance for how to attend the examination, the psychometric, the GD, and the PI. So even our PI classes are all live recorded classes, and they are conducted in a environment, in such an environment as if you have just entered a room, and you know uh, how would you be conducting yourself? You were to go for a PI. Okay, so all these things. Now, before I go further, I mean, there's nothing much now. It's This is the course reveal, what we are, calling our batch this time around is the Airship Aviation Academy Advantage. So what you get on enrolling is just a quick summarization of whatever I have said so far. Okay, so you get Air India's airline preparatory classes. All these classes are going to be live. This is going to be a new batch which will commence from the 2nd of January. Okay, so the first class on the 2nd of January is going to be a mock class. You all are cordially invited to please attend the mock class and see for yourself the quality of the instructor and the whole system that Airship has to offer. Our team will send out the links to you for the class on the 2nd. Uh, in addition to that, like I said, you will have the previously updated 80 plus mock tests. Okay. All these things will be given to you complimentary. The mastery recorded classes for all the ATA chapters and SOP and performance training, again, recorded classes are available. And once you clear the written examination, thereafter, your hand holding and your complete support through the general discussion, the group discussion, and the PI, the personal interview, will also be given by us. Okay, so it is a complete uh, offer. Uh, the vacancy for Air India, it closes on the 10th. Our batch starts on the 2nd. Limited seats for mock GD sessions. And yes, we have an offer. The special webinar discount, how much it is, there's a number which will be at the end. Please get in touch with our team and they'll offer it to you starting from the end of this webinar until the next 24 hours. Okay, so that is the offer that is going to be extended to you from Airship. And with that, it brings us to the end of this small little slide that I had to share. As you can see, I request you to please note down the details if just in case you do feel you do feel connected with us and you have some inquiry, you can always reach out on this number on the bottom right. And this is our email ID and this is the uh, website. Okay. Uh, so important dates are we start a batch on the 2nd. There is a special offer which is available at a discounted price. Please get in touch with our team on this number, which ends at 24 hours from now. There will be a mock test, sorry, not mock test. There will be a mock class, a demo class on the 2nd. It's going to be a live class. You'll all be are most welcome to please attend that live class and decide for yourself. We don't want to waste a lot of time. What I suspect from my limited information that I have, Air India is not gonna delay this vacancy for far too long. Okay, if the last date is announced to be as 10th, you can expect the examination to be conducted sometime around first week of February. They would want to wrap it sometime around mid of March because there's an incubation period for pilot also. So once they create a batch, it's gonna take a good 1 year. Okay, and please understand the new FDTL is already in force, a significant chunk of it. Okay, so and the exemption given by the regulator is not going to be forever. That exemption is going to lapse. So the airlines, which ideally should have woken up a couple of years back, have thankfully now woken up. So please don't expect that these vacancies are going to drag for far too long. Okay, so everything's going to happen in a quick succession. And with every 320 class, 2 or 3 classes in a week or 10 days, you will definitely have 1 or 2 classes followed by 1 or 2 classes of CPL topics also, which will be given, which from where you can expect few questions in in this examination. So this is all that I had to say at this time. Now I'm gonna throw the floor open to you all for any questions. So whoever has any question, I would like to just please request to raise their hands first on the application and so that I can call out your name. Yeah. Okay. So there's no question. Yes, Asta. Let's start with you.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. So
Good
actually, I
afternoon.
have a quite bit of a questions to ask you. So if anybody else wants to start first, that's okay because I have a couple of questions.
I think you were the one who raised both her hands first, and now
Yes.
I can see a string of candidates wanting to ask. But it's okay. Please shoot your questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just give a
Just
little
I
bit.
just request that try and keep them concise to the point so that we can
Absolutely.
cover up. as many as we can.
Absolutely. I had a major question, which was I'm already C20 type rated, and my IRPPC lapsed in this month of November. And as I read the Air India vacancy, they have this tricky part saying that you also need to be IR current by the time of joining. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just in a bit of a dilemma. Should I go ahead with my IRPPC or wait until I give my written and the result and then go ahead with the IRPPC?
Well, in whichever way you can manage, if you think that you have a good resource and a contact good enough who can give you a booking last minute and can have your endorsement retrieved from DGCA, well, then you can choose to delay it. Or if you think you don't have those luxuries, then I would say it doesn't matter. Uh, even if you go and renew your IR a few months in advance. So the writing is very clear that your IR has to be renewed. It must be current at the time of joining. So Air India, in a way, has given you that leverage that, okay, if you wish to sit for the written examination, and let's say if you've cleared it, touch wood, you proceed ahead to the psychometric, GD, PI, sim level. Air India really doesn't care as long as you are doing all these things, even on an expired IR. But they want your IR to be current. Now, how you do it is your planning. My suggestion is why leave it for the last date? Because
Understood.
just like you, now in market, 320 or 737 type rated guys are not just in a few tens or twenties. There are hundreds of you. Okay, so everybody is gonna be looking for vacancies in Jordan, in Vietnam, in Indonesia, CAE here, CAE there, GTA Madrid, whoever is getting a slot wherever is gonna go. So in that race, please don't be left behind. That can be my only advice. Because if you get a slot sometime in Jan end or February, if you were to finalize a slot today, I think that's a very good time. Just go. The only exception would be if the dates are colliding. Let's say you've cleared your Air India written exam and your psychometric date happens to be on that same day, or the written exam happens to be on the same day. Then you may want to change your plans for a few days ahead. But if not, then you should just look for a place, go and get your IR current.
Right,
And
sir.
that's
There's
for
yes,
everybody
sir.
else.
There's another catch to this actually. I'm amidst my Indigo vacancy as well, so I am done with two rounds and I'm waiting for the other two rounds. And they'll call me at any time for the GD. That's why I brought
So
this
you don't have
question up.
your dates for the Indigo GD
Not
yet?
yet, not yet. So the
Because they've
last
started
date,
to announce. I think
correct, correct.
they've had few dates this month. Then there are few dates next month, 13th, 20th, 27th, and so on. Every
Right,
week they're
sir.
calling.
Right, so at the end of the Jan was the last date that was given to a 320 rated friend of mine. So I'm anticipating my
Okay.
dates to be in February. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a fix for me. That's why I wanted to attend this webinar and have a chat with you guys.
This is life. You're always in a catch-22 situation. We don't really have the luxury of very clear-cut, open and shut decisions that we can take. I would still say that you please try and speak to wherever you wish to go for your IR renewal, be it FSTC in India or CAE, GTA, wherever. That's not my point. Try and book a date. Okay. It would just be sheer destiny that your Indigo's GD date or Air India's written examination happens to be in collision with that date. If there is a collision, yeah, you can always find out a way because there will be so many guys wanting to go for IR renewal. You can always either swap your slot. Okay, you may have someone known in your peer group who can take that particular date on which you are supposed to go and you can swap it for a later date. Or who knows, you may just end up clearing the Indigos round and you never have to go for this renewal at all.
Right.
So, so at this stage, in a scenario of ambiguity, it is only advisable that you take the safest route, which is please book a date and
Understood, sir.
wait till that time, around that date, how the things are panning out for you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right, Paritosh, yes, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, good afternoon.
So actually, I wanted to ask that whenever I study a particular system, I always understand it like in the first attempt and in depth also. But whenever I try to like revise it, like maybe 1 week after it, then I always get confused in the terms. Like I'm slightly not sure how to proceed with the understanding of the concepts.
Okay. So, your issue is that you're trying to, are you 320 type rated, I suppose?
Yes, I'm 320 type rated. I have cleared Indigo written and adapt as well.
Hmm.
I'm waiting my GD and PI dates. But for the and like with airship only, I've been taking classes.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Okay.
thing is, the problem I experience is whenever I study a topic, I can easily understand it. But after some time, whenever I try
Hmm.
to recall the system, that's when the problem occurs with me. So I'm not able to recall everything properly, like every system in detail, what are the computers that work with a particular system and all.
So that is something which is always going to happen, Paritosh. That's not something which is happening just with you. That's a very human nature. If I was to remember all these 250 computers on an Airbus 320, even I wouldn't know. Okay, sometimes even I get lost for the count as to how many ILACs and SECs and uh, FDACs are there. I end up thinking that okay, I got three ALACs. I don't have three ALACs because don't get worked up. See, so the trick to that is you'll have to keep reading. Now you cannot keep reading the ATA chapters all over again every week. That is not humanly possible. So what you need to keep reading is keep reading the SOPs, the limitations, and keep and the basic things. Let's say for a flight control, it would be how many computers are there, what are the protections, how many laws are there, your uh, direct law, alternate law, normal law, what are the protections available? These things you will have to revisit almost every week till the time you don't get a job. Okay? Some things like in terms of fuel, how many tanks are there? What is the capacity of the outer tank, inner tank? What is the capacity of a complete wing? If you refer to the limitations, what is the minimum fuel capacity with which you can take off? It's 1500 kgs. What is the maximum imbalance which is allowed if one wing is empty and the other wing is things? So, if you understand the concept, I think you have already won half the challenge. A lot of people do not even understand the concept. A lot of people continue to struggle with the laws. What is a normal law? What is a alternate law? What is a direct law? Uh, when you have a RA1 plus 2, you go directly from a normal to direct law. You don't even enter the alternate law. So if you understand the concept, I think you're sorted. In terms of memorizing, though you don't have to memorize those 2,000, 5,000 page FCOM, yeah, that even we haven't done because that's not possible. So if you're thinking that I'm not able to memorize it, and that's why you're feeling anxious, then your anxiety is uncalled for because you're not supposed to. Just stick and adhere to whatever is being taught in the class. Okay, just like in CPL, I remember my CPL many, many years back. You guys would have done your CPL naturally a bit recently. Uh, you know, you either go to Surinder Singh or Khurana or any other CPL instructor. How often have they really discussed a particular topic, spending 2 to 3 hours, 4 hours, or maybe 2, 3 days in detail? Because they know that, boss, this is the topic. This is all that I'm going to explain to you because this is exactly from where the question is going to come. So you please clear the damn exam, get a job. So that is also in a certain way is going to be our mantra here as well, that we will try and clarify the concepts uh, at the same time while completely understanding and appreciating that the time is a very limited resource. Okay, so whatever we tell you in the class, stick with that, understand that concept, review the mock tests, and you'll sail through. Baki ki jo, the extra curricular knowledge that you wish to seek, you can always keep reading your FCOM whenever you get a job.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Paritosh? So just stick with whatever is being taught and few items, keep memorizing them every week, but not the whole FCOM. There are so many pages.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Like in power plant, engine. In power plant, they have got different sections altogether. They're explaining oil system for a few pages, then they're explaining fuel system for a few more pages, then they're explaining thrust reverser system. Now you don't have to memorize all this. That is it a translating sleeve thrust reverser or is it a, vane system thrust reverser? You don't have to memorize all this. Nobody's going to ask you the question. But what is the manual start? What is a auto start? What is a crossbleed start? What is the external pneumatic start? You have to know these things. Okay, what is the flow of the engine start? Which valve opens first? Which valve opens later? When does the ignition kick in? These things you have to know. You got the difference?
Yes, sir. Understood.
All right. Next, Nawaz.
Hi, good afternoon, sir. Sir, two things.
Hi, good
A,
afternoon.
I'm going for 320 type rating sometime around 3rd of January. I have already booked the slot. And so I just wanted to see, like, would it still be feasible for me to apply for the Air India?
I'm sorry, Nawaz. Your voice cracked up. You're going for your type rating? Is that what you said?
Yes, sir. So I'm going for type rating. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, you are.
Great.
Okay.
So I'm going on the 3rd is when I have the slot. And would it still be feasible for me to apply? Because by the time I come back, Air India should have been done by the written exam. And, I can still be in the breakthrough of becoming a
Absolutely, Manoj.
320 pilot.
Absolutely, absolutely. My answer, a short answer to that would be ki, yes, without doubt. Uh, you should still apply and
Okay.
wait in the hope, uh, wait in the hope that Air India does call you for written examination. And if they do, that is exactly what you want. Uh, so, you sit for the written examination, as you keep clearing the rounds, you keep proceeding to the next stages. The only challenge that you may have at some point in time is what if your written examination date is on a day when you're still in the middle of your A320 type rating, and let's say if you're going somewhere out of India, you will have to face a challenge sort of coming back to India and then giving that written examination and then flying
Right.
back. The second challenge that you may face is uh, in a likely situation of you successfully completing your type rating, then you will have to log the entries on the EGCA. It's a painful process. I just hate it absolutely, but unfortunately, we have to do it. You have to log everything on EGCA. Then most of the times, more often than not, you will always have a shortfall, which the EGCA will send to you. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. We all have
Yes, sir.
logged our hours, right? EGCA will
Yes.
send you a shortfall. Then you have to deal with that nonsense, shortfall. And then eventually, when everything is in place, finally you submit your documents, and then you have to wait for a month. So now, until last time, this time around, they're not very clear about it. But I think in few weeks, when people start writing them with queries, they will hopefully come out with some answer. Last time they had said that if someone who has submitted their license for endorsement to DGCA and has a challan copy was also eligible, okay, was also
Okay.
eligible for final recruitment. They were also given letter of intents because they know
Okay.
that it's been submitted, challan is there, it's just a few weeks, and they will have their endorsement. So this time
Right.
around, they have not spoken about it, but assuming that as long as you are able to submit your license for endorsement, and by that time you cleared all the rounds, I don't think you should have a problem.
Okay.
Okay. But
So
to
that
reach
brings me
till
to
that,
two questions. So two more questions would be A, let's say I get called for the written, but then I
Mhm.
don't make it. Would I still be eligible for the 6 months of cool off period? And does the cool off
Yes,
period also applies
yes.
to written exam as well, or is it just for sim?
Well, so if in the event you need to take things in a worst case scenario, from a worst case scenario, because they have not mentioned clearly. See, Air India can always come out and clarify at a later stage if people start writing to them. Okay, is a cooling period applicable to all the stages or only up to a certain stage, and then they may come out with some clarifications, or they may not clarify it at all. So for you, from a planning stage, you will have to take it from the first stage itself that if you don't make the cut in written, you cannot apply for the next 6 months. That's how you need to plan.
Okay.
So, so that is how. I mean, there's no other way. Anything else would be a wishful thinking. For you to
Right.
say, no, no, I don't think they'll force me to wait for 6 months just because I didn't clear my written. I think it's going to be applicable from psychometric. Who knows? Yeah, who told you? No one. So you need to plan yourself in a conservative way.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, so who's next? It's Anish. Anish, can you
Yes,
unmute
sir.
yourself, please?
Yes, sir. Am I
Yes.
audible?
Yes, yeah. Please go
Yeah.
ahead.
So my doubt was mainly on the CPL point of view, sir, because that is something that I'm not very confident. So I just wanted to know, like, what area would you suggest us to focus on, like the CPL point of view?
See, the CPL point of view, we have a set of topics, we have a set of mock tests, and the content which is curated accordingly as per those topics. Now, these topics have been very exhaustively picked up from a lot of Air India exams which were conducted until 2023, and a lot of these Indigo examinations which have also been conducted until recently, until 2025 January, the last vacancy, and also the Air India Express vacancy, okay, which was later cancelled. So it is from these multitude of vacancies that where after which we have arrived at a particular list of items that we'll be covering in a CPL, okay? Like in meteorology, just for the sake of Indian climatology, India generally experiences, wherever the operations of Air India and Indigo are, they tend to see monsoons as well. They tend to see cold weather operations as well. They tend to see Kal Baisakis, what is trough of low, so these whole things. Like right now, we're in the middle of fog season, so you can definitely expect questions on fog, radiation fog, Cat 2, Cat 3, and LVTO, what is a takeoff alternate, and things like these. Okay. What is the approach ban policy? Now, these are CPL level topics pertaining to Met and up to a certain extent performance. So you can expect these questions. In terms of radio aids, nowadays you should not, for example, you should not expect any questions on NDB and ADFs now because NDB ADF question they only are asked in CPL for you to get your CPL. But airlines they don't ask them anymore because nobody uses NDB. NDB is not even existent in most of the part of India and world across. Uh, the aircrafts have an ADF pointer. These the still older aircrafts, but the newer aircraft they don't even have any ADF, pointers or ADF dials or ADF systems. Okay, they're not even installed on aircrafts, but it's still a topic. So you can expect Air India to not ask questions on these, but VORs, yes. Now the new concepts like what is a ADS-B out, what is a ADS-B in, what is a GPS spoofing, what is a GPS interference. You can expect one or two questions which will be covered by us. What is a RVSM? What is PBN? What is the difference between RNP and RNAV? What is a self-contained alerting system? And things like these. So, what topics in CPL? You leave that to us. We have those topics, we have our content ready, and we have the exams ready. So, only those topics will be covered, not everything in CPL. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Asta,
Uh,
another question?
yes, sir. Just
Yes.
wanted to know a little bit about the format of the questions, how it will be. Is it going to be same as Indigo or maybe something different in the written
See,
examination?
the questions are always going to be somewhat similar. I mean, how can you tweak? How in how many ways can you tweak a question pertaining to a 320's limitation or memory action? I mean, the format is largely going to be the same. So you
Okay.
really don't have to worry about the formats, and nor do I have any particular uh, uh, thing to tell you because there is really no other way that you can really define a question with respect to, a 320's memory action or a limitation or a maneuver or a understanding of FFC team or what the golden rules are. So it's going to be almost the same. If you have given the Indigo exam and you think you're decently prepared and you sort of know how to prepare, then it's just going to be on the same line. So
Okay. Right,
it's
sir. I
not too
asked I
different.
asked because I had given the Indigo exam in the CPL category, so I don't have an idea about the 320 category.
Okay. Okay. So I get that point. So CPL category, naturally, you only have CPL questions.
Right.
In 320 category, the variations, the percentage can also always move. But let's say if you got around 50 question paper, CPL questions are not going to exceed more than 10. The
Okay.
remaining 40 is going to be from 320. Or on the very lower side, it'll be 35 and 15. Definitely not less than that.
Okay, so majority 320 will be the focus.
Absolutely. 100%. I mean, 320 and the remaining 15 or 10 would be CPL, and that CPL would be a mix of general performance, MET, maybe one or two questions from regs and radio aids and all this. But the remaining 30-35 is going to be that aircraft specific heavy,
Okay,
320
understood.
heavy or a 737 heavy question.
Right.
question paper.
I don't know if this question is stupid or not. I'll just still ask about it. So, what the
No, please.
RTOW performance calculations questions, are they going to be as difficult as we had in our type rating in India, or they're going to just keep the level a little lower than that?
But the RTO level questions, I don't think they were difficult at all. Not even in CPL. I mean, it's just
The
that.
length basically, they won't be that lengthy as
No,
how
no,
we
no, no,
had it
no,
in
no, no,
the.
no, no. No. They do allow you to take the calculators inside, but please don't be under any imagination whatsoever that you're going to be doing those filthily lengthy
Right,
questions.
right.
That you're just step one and then step two, and then you have to again go to step one and then correlate with step three. No, no, all that nonsense is not to be done. No CPPNR, no critical point. All these questions, no relative bearing. You don't get these questions.
Okay.
Okay. It's
Right, sir.
very
Thank you.
straightforward. If at all it's going to be for RTOW, they'll simply ask you that, okay, what is the RTOW? And they'll give you a MLW, they'll give you a FZ, MZFW, they'll give you a MTOW, they'll give you a trip fuel, and they'll give you a FOB. It's basic equation. Zero fuel weight plus FOB gives you one weight. Landing weight plus trip fuel gives you another weight. MTOW is any which way is the max takeoff weight which that particular aircraft is supposed to have. Which one is the lowest? Either they'll ask you this or they'll ask you that what is the maximum payload that I can carry. Okay,
Oh,
again, from a payload, you need to first arrive at your RTOW. Then there will be another weight which is called a ATOW. Okay, actual takeoff weight, which is mentioned on your trim sheet. So you simply minus the ATOW from RTOW, and that is the payload that you can carry. Basic questions. It's not it's not rocket science. It's not too deep.
okay, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. So, guys, if there are no other questions, I'll just quickly run you through with our website. I won't take more than 2 minutes, and then it's a wrap. So just give me 30 seconds while I log in, and I show it to you. Okay, guys. So is this visible to you?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So guys, this is how our website looks. As you can see, it's airshipaviation.com. And so when you come here, I mean, if I go on my home page, this is how it looks. And I mean, this is basically an administrator page, but how our courses they appear to you when you're on the website and how you can take the learning value. So we've got this A320 Air India crash course written exam. This is the batch which is going to be starting from the second. So here, uh, okay, just a moment. Let me show you the one which is unlocked. Okay, so as you can see here, this is just one of the classes. So how it's going to be is these are all recorded sessions. Okay, so all these recorded sessions will also be provided to you, like I said. So this was a class which was conducted by me regarding the complete understanding of how to read a Jepson chart. Okay, right from every small minor thing as to, let's say, in Mumbai, you have runway 27 and there's a ILS approach. Now, in Mumbai alone, you have ILS approaches for 27, which are four in number. So you have three. ILS Zulu, runway 27, ILS Yankee, runway 27, ILS X-ray, runway 27. So what is the difference between this Zulu, Yankee, and X-ray? Okay, things like these, from how to conduct a DME arc, what is a lead radial. Now, these are all questions which Air India asks in personal interview. Okay, many a times you will have the senior captain who's sitting up in that interview as a panel, who's a part of that panel. Will open up a particular airport's random chart on his iPad and he'll just give it to you and ask you some random questions. Okay, so when you come, this is how you can navigate through the classes: demo class, Jepson and RVSM operations, and then HR interview, class one. These were all classes which were conducted. So right now the speed is increased. It's 1.5. So I'm just going to move it slightly forward just to tell you that we use uh, real resources. We have relevant charts. Okay, so this is how you can navigate through our website, and similarly, we've got our content available as well, PDF. Let me just give me 10 seconds. Okay, guys, sorry. Uh, there was this initial glitch here. Okay, so like this is one course that we have for the CPL preparatory class. So this is a particular batch which was conducted by our instructors for IndiGo's CPL only batch. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got MET in meteorology classes, introductory class, and by topics, atmosphere, day-to-day physics, earth, temperature, humidity. These are all recordings. As you can see, the length, 54 minutes, on an average an hour. Okay, 1 hour to 1 hour, 20 minutes. And they are taken at now this particular, all these topics are only those which are relevant from a airlines selection point of view. This is not a DGC examination CPL content. This is a airline. So let's say right now Air India has come out with a 320 type rated vacancies. If Air India was to come out after 15 days for CPL only, then our structure is going to be looking what you see on your screen. Largely, this was for MET. Then you got technical general classes. Then you got air regulation, general navigation, radio navigation, so radio aids, navigation, and study material. So in metrology, so how our study material looks like is this is how it looks. We've got very nicely curated PDFs which are available for you, and we are in the process of making them available for downloads as well. Okay, so we have done the hard part for you for retrieving the information from the sources and keeping it concise and relevant to the point that we know that most of the times the questions come from these topics and these topics alone and nothing more. So if you are going to compare, this content with, let's say, an RK Bali or some other uh, book, you will find that our content is very concise because it has been made to be very concise. Okay, so this is how the PDFs are going to be available, and this is how our website looks. So, guys, this is what I wanted to just quickly, run through. And in the end, there's just one last thing I wanted to say for specifically for CPL holders. Whoever is a CPL holder with me right now on the meeting, guys, I would just say that please absolutely consider and actively consider going for a type rating. This is just an advice coming from my experience. The window for CPL vacancies is only going to shrink with every week, especially after this new FDTL and this stick which has been yanked on all the operators by the regulator and public and the media at large after this Indigo fiasco which happened in the last few weeks. Uh, the airlines are under a tremendous pressure. And not just this, also the Pakistani airspace is closed. So a lot of every flight which flies to the international destinations on the western side has to, their flying times have increased by an hour and a half. So, which means the airlines are now forced to deploy three pilots in a cockpit. This is mainly I'm talking for wide body. So now all of a sudden they are in shortage of pilots. The market has heated up. The scope for direct CPL holder is going to be very less because it increases the cost for the airlines. So the best shot that you can have is please have your slots in the next couple of months. Get out, get your type rating, and come back in. In today's date, even if you were to do a type rating for 737, it is equally good because Akasa and Air India Express have got a very handsome 737 order book, and so does 320. So if you have traditionally always wanted to fly a Boeing and you want to go for 737, I think you should. If you're a 320 guy, love to fly 320, please, by all means. I would have not said the same thing for a 737 2 years back, but today both the options are equally good. Whatever you wish to, you should actively consider type rating. And here in Airship, only for 320, if someone who wishes to go for 320 type rating, we have got a pre-type rating course which is available. Okay, it's a very successful course which is run by our institute. It's a quick crash course sort of thing that we have, which goes for about a week to 15 days, in which our dedicated 320 instructors, they handhold you in those items such as, I'll come back to you, Siddesh. In those items such as limitations, memory action, the flows, how should you be moving your hand in the cockpit to do all those flows? And it gives you an absolute kickstart when you sit in that FBS, fixed base system simulator on day one. So it is definitely, gonna give you a great insight and make life very easy for you when you're sitting in that simulator for the first time. Because a lot of people do fail, even in GTA and CAE. So don't be under any impression that they all these guys want is money. So we'll pay them the money and they don't fail people. They do. So it is important that if you can get an edge, then you must take it. Our free type rating course only for A320 is what we provide by our instructors who actively fly a 320. And it is absolutely going to help you. So for that also, if someone who is in the process of going for 320 and if you seem to be interested in this course, please get in touch with our team. Okay, so with that, it's a wrap from my side. Siddesh, yes, you had a question?
Yes, sir. Sir, I had cleared Air India Express exam in February 2025. The exam that they had this year. I was with Airship
Mm,
only.
mm,
And in May or June they had the hiring process was put on hold. Now they have
correct.
recently resumed it. I think just 2 days before they had declared the A320 type rated vacancy. Now I'm confused as what should I go for the A320. Now since in May or June when they had put the process on hold, I got type rated on A320. Now I've cleared the written
Okay.
exam for Air India Express, and
Mm.
but I'm type rated on A320 as well. So I'm a bit confused about that. And second
So
thing,
who Air India Express vacancy, which came in last year beginning, I mean this year beginning,
yes, sir.
and were later put on hold. To my knowledge, they were cancelled altogether.
So
Those vacancies, those
they have
vacancies
sent,
have been reinitiated again, is what you're saying?
yes, sir. We got a mail just 2 days before the A320 vacancy was declared, and they were
Okay.
asking for the preferred exam centers as well.
Okay. And they haven't mentioned the fleet.
737, sir. Air India Express was specifically for 737.
Okay, because back then Air India Express, technically speaking, had 320s also. Yeah, but yes, I remember. You're right. Those vacancies were for 737. So as of today, you are 320 type rated.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, there's no harm in sitting an examination, 737 type rated. I mean, if you end up by fluke clearing it, then you may consider. But
So
if in any other situation, I would definitely 320 is an absolutely brilliant option here. If you're already type rated, then you may choose to.
I don't want to waste money on 737 type rating again. That's
Exactly,
the thing.
exactly. No one should. No one should. That's what I'm saying. No one should.
But
If
since
Yeah.
yes, sir. So it is mostly considered that written exams are very important as well, and I hope I would clear A320 as well. But for 737 also, as I have already cleared the written exam, I'm thinking which classes to join, or can I join both for Compass, for the Air India Express, and for A320 type rating Air India also.
See, right now, we are mainly focused on A320 type rating, which is a batch commencing on the second
Okay.
in-house. Because here, to be honest, in airship right now, we have already an established and a proven infrastructure when it comes to A320 specific training apparatus, uh, be it classes, be it GD, be it PI, be it for Indigo, the Indigo has got something known as Adapt also, in which they make you do those exercises and, flying exercises and multitasking. So we've got all those infrastructure available for 320. For
Yes, yes.
737, we are still not so much as of today. For to answer your specific question that would we be dedicating our time at the moment to have particular expresses psychometric test and combat? It is a work in progress, but not on priority as of now. So we are mainly for Air India's 320 batch.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Understood.
Yeah, but having said that, I would still suggest please get in touch with our team, the number which was flashed, or if you already would be having a number, just inquire with them once
Okay, sir.
whether is the institute currently still open to accepting the
Because
colleagues from.
previously on the website, I could in March or till May, I could see
Mhm.
the compass test on aviation, airship airline.
Yes,
Sorry, the
yes.
website also.
I suppose yes. There was. That's what I'm saying. That you get in touch with them today, and then sort of just find it out from them that are they still open to enrolling people in that course or not.
Sure, sir. Okay.
Okay, so this is going to be last question, Paritosh. Yes.
So as I previously mentioned, I was with the airship for GD and PI. for Indigo. So how
Mm.
different are the classes for written exam and GD and PI, I mean?
Well, the concept is going to be the same. Okay. For GD and PI, it's the same because Air India also conducts it in the same way. The only difference is Air India is conducting GD. For Air India, GD is something new. The last time they conducted GD was back in 2023, and that was unannounced. I mean, they only mentioned about it in the emails, but now they have publicly mentioned it in their advertisement that we will be having a GD round as well. So that is the only one additional thing which is there. Uh, the classes and the way we conduct the training is going to be the same. Airship is a online training mode. We don't have any physical classes. So it is, live sessions through Zoom meeting with videos on, interactive with no time limitation, that if you have done them before with us, you know what to expect. And how different it is, the topics in Air India are much, much easier than what they were in Indigo. Okay, so in Indigo, they were a bit too deeply engrossed in aviation topics, crashes, survival uh, activities, this and that. In Air India, they largely discussion topics. Why an LCC? Are you in favor of full service carrier? Is the fuel cost increment affects full service carriers more or low cost carriers more? These are the topics. So if you're someone who's generally aware in aviation, who reads newspapers, who reads aviation journals, you'll be able to sail through the GD.
Okay, so my question was, how different are the classes that Airship is providing are different, like the written part and the PI part only.
Uh, how different the classes that Airship is providing with compared to whom?
Like, I bought the package for PI only. Okay, so I don't
Okay.
know what type of classes were conducted for written exam.
In written exam, we teach people from a written examination point of view where we have a certain number of topics. We cover those topics in detail. We conduct classes. We give the recorded sessions of previously conducted classes as complimentary. Uh, we provide mock tests. For interview, for a PI, you don't need to go that much in detail. For a PI, you only have selected number of topics which are even reduced further, which we have a list of topics from what our students who had attended different PIs with either Air India or Indigo tell us. So we have a curated topic, and that's what we cover in PIs. And PIs are all, again, basically it's a live mock PI which is going on, either conducted by me or by my other colleagues who are also instructors. So it's just like you talking to me right now, and this is how the PI is going to be conducted. So you will have your cameras on. I will have a set of questions, and I'm gonna shoot those questions at you, both CPL, both 320 type rated, general performance, and then at the end of that PI for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes is when my feedback is going to start regarding you.
Okay, sir. Understood.
Okay, guys. So thank you so much for joining. I hope to see some of you, uh, be associated with us. And however, before that, please don't forget on second we have a demo class. Get in touch with our team and please provide your details. You will be given a link to attend the demo class. All right. So with that, wish you all a very best. Study hard. Please make the most of this vacancy, and there'll be many more to come. All right. Good evening. Thank you, and bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Have a
sir.
good day
Thank you,
ahead.
sir.